My fellow Americans, our long national nightmare is over.
And of course, that was President Gerald Ford in 1974, as he assumed the presidency from Richard M. Nixon, and it was just after Watergate. But I think what he said about the long national nightmare being over, we can say that about U.S. politics, potentially Canadian. When we come back, what last night's election means for free speech, for Canada, and for our ability to be free. We'll be right back.
So we are in a very precarious position in this country. We need political change, but we also need the resolve to resist.
Yes, please like this broadcast, share it with your friends and family. It's been a horrible week of suppression, but hopefully things are going to lift now. That's what this election was all about. Yeah, if Donald Trump could win, there was hope for free speech because that's what this election was all about. That's what it comes down to. Of course, everybody's got some problems with Donald Trump in one area or the other, but overwhelmingly, you've got to support what he's doing and what this means for America. Let's have a look before we get into some video from last night. I mean, he's won every battleground state. Now we don't have the final results from Nevada in, and some say Wisconsin is still disputed. Trump's numbers could go even higher, but it's a decisive victory over the forces of collectivism, over the dark forces aligned against free speech. And I think this is great news for Canada. I don't care, I'm already seeing the articles in Canadian publications that Canada's screwed. And we were going to be screwed either way because it's an America First agenda. What is important to you is the ascendancy of free speech and our ability to still be free people. If that's important to you, Donald Trump's re-election means that. And I love this one from last night. Yeah. Harris won the Ukrainian vote except, the average Ukrainian is so sick of this war. They're sick of being drafted. They're sick of being stuck in the army. They're sick of being cannon fodder. Donald Trump will end this war in Ukraine, and I think the Middle East as well. There's so many consequences from last night's election. It's difficult to even list them today, but it's not just a new dawn of freedom. It means we're going to have people like Elon Musk involved in government. We're going to have people like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. involved in government. Can you imagine? He started talking about taking fluoride out of the water. Thank God. Should have happened 50 years ago. This stuff like this. And if Donald Trump, I think this time around, he understands the danger of the deep state. He understands the dangers posed by that Washington swamp. And he can't hire people from that swamp and expect them to drain it. And I think that's a lesson he's learned from the last time around. Now, wasn't this bizarre? I saw this just as the election results started coming in last night at 7 o'clock. And I was up till 2 watching this and reporting for the post-millennial. But they have a nuclear missile test. Now, it wasn't a blast. It was a nuclear missile test. Left Vandenberg Air Force Base and went to one of the islands in the Pacific. And why would they do that on election night? I mean, was this a bizarre attempt by the U.S. military to assert its authority and to warn Donald Trump? No, I don't know. I was thinking up until the last minute last night that something was going to go wrong in Pennsylvania. There was going to be like 1 million ballots discovered. And it was going to be the same kind of tricks that we saw in 2020 were going to happen again. So it didn't happen. I guess there's justice left in the world. I wrote this story last night. This is how the campaign manager was talking just on the eve of the election yesterday, that Kamala Harris would be installed as the next president. They just can't help themselves. Their language betrays them every bloody time. And it was just an incredible comment to make. Now, why do you think Nevada appears to have gone for Trump? I wrote this story last week. Ex-Californians who fled to Nevada could shift state for Trump, and that's exactly what happened. There's so many people in Nevada who say the state has gone communist under Gavin Newsom, and they remember Kamala Harris as a state attorney general, as a federal senator, and even as the DA for San Francisco, and they know she was bad news at that time, and that she was going to be worse news as president. Now, you think about now, you think, well, how is it possible that Kamala Harris could have even thought she was going to win? This guy won, and he won big, and he beat the odds. And let's face it, Americans and everybody loves the story of the great comeback. One of my favorite singing stars was always Frank Sinatra, and that's what his life represented, the great comeback. Down on the mat, his career over, can't even get a movie role. His by his own admission, his records were selling like used Edsels, as he liked to say. And he got back with that Best Supporting Actor award for From Here to Eternity. That film brought him back. He signed with Capitol Records. It was the beginning of an even bigger age of Sinatra. And this is what Donald Trump has done. And I think it's the great comeback story, which we love. We all love the great comeback story. And I said this the other day. The choice for conservatives on November is very simple. It's to vote for Trump or the end of America. Because Kamala Harris was going to continue to allow illegals to come into the country. She wasn't going to deport anybody. And America was going to be completely changed. Now, it amazes me that the tens of millions of illegals that got in the last 4 years under the Biden-Harris administration did not take this election for Kamala Harris. Like I say, yes, God is still in control. There's justice in the world. And it didn't happen the way a lot of people imagined it was going to happen. But weird things happening on the internet last night, too. I'm sure a lot of you were watching. I was watching Redacted for most of the night because that's the show I often go on. And Clayton and Natalie have become long distance friends. And I love their analysis, and I love the chemistry in that show. So I was watching them, and we'll get to a really poignant moment from that show last night. But it was strange because live streams were just ending in the middle of nowhere, and it's like YouTube couldn't contain all of the activity that was going on. And Tucker Carlson had a show live from Mar-a-Lago where he was a guest of former president or president-elect Donald Trump. And that's why.
But on the hand, Trump he's there, and there's no talking points. He's just being a normal person. He's having a conversation, and doing 3 hours of Rogan, no problem.
What do you think of him? You spent a lot of time with him in the last several months.
I think he's a very interesting, funny person, and much maligned by the media, obviously. And he's withstood a lot, and I think he's you mentioned that as you mentioned, I endorsed him immediately after he was shot, because when you see somebody under fire, what is their reaction to that? Because you know immediately, is someone brave or are they a coward?
Yes.
Okay, the bullets, they get hit by bullets. Blood's, come down face. It could have been a second shooter. And yet, he's going fight. That's true courage.
Yes.
Can't fake it.
Impossible.
And America is the home of the free and land of the brave. So that's who we want as president.
It was so.
We want a strong, brave person as president.
Amen.
And he is that.
How are you going to be involved?
Well, I've said I'd be happy to help improve the government efficiency. Obviously, Department of Government Efficiency, which I think is sorely needed. We've got a gigantic government bureaucracy. We've got overregulation. You've got agencies that have overlapping responsibilities. There's something like 450 federal government agencies. Almost 2 per year that company, since it's getting to the point where basically everything's illegal. You just can't get anything done.
I've noticed.
And this translates to these become real costs to people. They're hidden costs, but they're very substantial. It's very hard to build new housing if you're burdened with massive requirements that don't make any sense. It drives up the housing cost. It slows down new housing starts. So we need to let the builders of America build.
Amen.
Yeah.
So you're not going to the gulag, it turns out.
Well, not immediately. I mean, maybe in 5 years, I don't know. They might be probably pretty grumpy about this one. But I think I got at least several years before I go to the gulag.
Well, congratulations. I've never seen anything like this in my life.
Exciting times.
Amazing.
And here's to a fantastic future.
Yeah. Here's to a fantastic future. And we showed that clip that way because otherwise I'd probably be hit by copyright. Couldn't show the actual scene, but we did it that way. Now that's exciting, though. It's exciting because you're not just getting Donald Trump this time in 2024 like you did in 2016. You're getting a guy who knows what he wants to do, who's not going to put people like Mike Pompeo in charge of Secretary of State, who's going to tell him to do the wrong things. He's not going to make the mistake of hiring the wrong people again. He understands what Washington is all about, not just from an intellectual sense, but he understands it in his whole heart and soul. He knows they're out to get him. He survived 2 assassination attempts. This guy ran an incredible campaign. Kamala Harris ran a pathetic campaign, refusing to be interviewed by anybody but friendly reporters. And the odd time that she faced an objective reporter, and Brett Baer, for instance, from Fox News, she crumbled. And you say, you want someone like this to be president of the United States who can't do an interview without just imploding? Yeah, well, here's a poignant scene from Redacted last night. And I must say, Natalie Morris, I first became acquainted with this show because the two of them were arguing about a column I had written for the Western Standard, where I was writing at the time, about Justin Trudeau. And Natalie was on Justin Trudeau's side. And I reminded Clayton about this during a conversation we had a couple of months ago. And he'd forgotten how Natalie has totally transformed her politics in the last 4 years. She said last night, the first time she's voted Republican in her life.
So thank you, my friend John. You have to do that.
It's like $4 Australian dollars, isn't it?
Yes. He said, "Oh my God, guys, doing great tonight. Have a gin on me." I can't believe Natalie is still awake.
Me neither.
I know.
Is she?
No, she's not. Natalie checked out a while ago.
It's the Natalie bot.
Who is this? I like her though. Unbelievable. This is a remarkable moment. And I think it's remarkable because of the size and scope of how big this victory was, right? If it was smaller and we had a lot of contested stuff, this could be dragged on for days. I think this is exactly what this country needed right now, which is a definitive victory. Republicans win the Senate. They take control. Going pretty strong for Trump right now. Trump just won Nebraska's 1st district in its first electoral vote. Okay, we got that in. So now, Kamala Harris has just won New Hampshire with 4 electoral votes. So New Hampshire now goes to Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
Amarillo, Texas, in Texas's Panhandle, rejected a proposal that would have made it illegal to use local roads to get an out-of-state abortion.
Would have made it illegal
to use local roads to drive to get an out-of-state abortion.
That's silly. Okay.
Yeah. So
They said no to that.
I'm just going to
Gotcha.
jump ahead here.
Who proposes something like that? I mean,
I know. And why? Yeah. All right. Cardi B 2 hours ago said we need a Hail Mary. So you never know. It's, you just never know. So betting odds now have Kamala Harris at a 4% chance of winning. That's still 4 percentage points that we need to watch. And we're here to watch it.
Pennsylvania is now called for President Trump.
Who?
Pennsylvania, and that is it, folks. President Trump has now won the election. President Trump has now won the 2024 election. Fox News just called it, and the Associated Press will follow shortly here, I bet, if they haven't already called it in probably moments. So that's it, folks.
Dang, Kamala
Your president,
just a little bit too early.
Your next.
And there's Natalie tearing up when she hears the news. I remember that last night very vividly. That was it. That was it. Donald Trump was the winner. I remember texting my folks at the Post-Millennial at that point saying, victory. He's won. He's won. And an incredible moment that we are all going to remember. And I just find that to be just
President of the United
poignant.
States is President Trump. That is it. President Trump has won the election. This is unbelievable and a massive, an absolute landslide. Any way you slice this, winning Florida, winning Georgia, winning North Carolina, flipping all of these states, winning Ohio, winning Pennsylvania. We don't have Nevada just yet, but at this point it doesn't matter because President Trump has just won the election.
And I want to get to Trump's speech. It was brief. It was unifying. And clearly he had a message he needed to deliver. And of course, we were waiting in the wee small hours of the morning for Trump to take the stage last night.
Well, I want to thank you all very much. This is great. These are our friends. We have thousands of friends on this. Frankly, this was, I believe, the greatest political movement of all time. There's never been anything like this in this country and maybe beyond. And now it's going to reach a new level of importance because we're going to help our country heal. We're going to help our country heal. We have a country that needs help, and it needs help very badly. We're going to fix our borders. We're going to fix everything about our country. And we made history for a reason tonight, and the reason is going to be just that. We overcame obstacles that nobody thought possible, and it is now clear that we've achieved the most incredible political thing. Look what happened. Is this crazy?
It's still hard to believe how successful.
But it's a political victory that our country has never seen before, nothing like this. I want to thank the American people for the extraordinary honor of being elected your 47th president and your 45th president. And every citizen, I will fight for you, for your family, and your future. Every single day I will be fighting for you, and with every breath in my body, I will not rest until we have delivered the strong, safe, and prosperous America that our children deserve and that you deserve. This will truly be the golden age of America. That's what we have to have. This is a magnificent victory for the American people that will allow us to make America great again.
I just want to interject here. How do you think this is going to be interpreted by Pierre Poilievre and the Conservative Party? I can tell you right now, the Conservative communications will not be celebrating too much because they don't want to link Pierre Poilievre to Donald Trump. That's a mistake. Donald Trump is bad news for Justin Trudeau. Donald Trump's election victory is bad news for the authoritarian forces of Justin Trudeau, and it's good news for freedom in this country.
And in addition to having won the battleground states of North Carolina, I love these places, Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, we are now winning in Michigan, Arizona, Nevada, and Alaska, which would result in us carrying at least 315 electoral votes. But that we also have won the popular vote. That was great. Very proud of that.
Trump got 52% of the popular vote. We haven't got all the California ballots counted yet, and so that might be reduced by a bit. But he's certainly won the popular vote, which is important. And it looks like he's got the House and the Senate. Now, the biggest percentage victory in U.S. history was won by Lyndon Johnson in 1964, 61%. So you might say 52%, isn't that great, but it is, considering the odds Donald Trump had to face.
Thank you. Now, winning the popular vote was very nice, I will tell you. It's a great feeling of love. We have a great feeling of love in this very large room with unbelievable people standing by my side. These people have been incredible. They've made the journey with me, and we're going to make you very happy. We're going to make you very proud of your vote. I hope that you're going to be looking back someday and say that was one of the truly important moments of my life when I voted for this group of people beyond the president, this group of great people. America has given us an unprecedented and powerful mandate. We have taken back control of the Senate. Wow, that's good. And it also looks like we'll be keeping control of the House of Representatives. Say a couple of words.
This was a great little speech from J.D. Vance, Senator J.D. Vance of Ohio. Now, the Vice President-elect.
Well, Mr. President, I appreciate you allowing me to join you on this incredible journey. I thank you for the trust that you placed in me. And I think that we just witnessed the greatest political comeback in the history of the United States of America.
That's the word, political comeback. Everybody loves a political comeback. Everybody
and
loves
under President Trump's leadership, we're never going to stop fighting for you, for your dreams, for the future of your children. And after the greatest political comeback in American history, we're going to lead the greatest economic comeback in American history under Donald Trump's leadership.
I will govern by a simple motto: promises made, promises kept. We're going to keep our promises. Nothing will stop me from keeping my word to you, the people. We will make America safe, strong, prosperous, powerful, and free again. And I'm asking every citizen all across our land to join me in this noble and righteous endeavor. That's what it is. It's time to put the divisions of the past 4 years behind us. It's time to unite. And we're going to try. We have to try. And it's going to happen. Success will bring us together. I've seen that. I saw that in the first term when we became more and more successful. People started coming together. Success is going to bring us together, and we are going to start by all putting America first. We have to put our country first for at least a period of time. We have to fix it. Because together we can truly make America great again for all Americans. So I want to just tell you what a great honor this is. I want to thank you. I will not let you down. America's future will be bigger, better, bolder, richer, safer, and stronger than it has ever been before. God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you very much.
Isn't it nice to have Melania Trump back as the First Lady of the United States? Now, can we go to that clip with Dana White now? If we have that. Yeah.
Family does. This is what happens when the machine comes after you. What you've seen over the last several years, this is what it looks like. Couldn't stop him. He keeps going forward. He doesn't quit. He's the most resilient, hardworking man I've ever met in my life. His family are incredible people. This is karma, ladies and gentlemen. He deserves this. They deserve it as a family. I want to thank some people real quick. I want to thank the Nelk boys, Aiden Ross, Theo Vaughn, busting with the boys, and last but not least, the mighty and powerful Joe Rogan.
Yeah, and that's yeah, that says it all. That's where Kamala Harris had her support last night, and it was, what a night, what a fantastic night. I hope you were able to be there for it and to be a part of this historic moment. Now, in about a year or less, maybe even by the spring, we're going to have a scene like that in Canada where Justin Trudeau will be leaving the political stage and Pierre Poilievre will be elected as the prime minister. Now, I know the Conservative Party is not going to play up. I know they're not going to play up the victory by Trump because they're worried Canadians don't really like Donald Trump, which is sad because this guy has put his life on the line for freedom. And I think it's important to acknowledge that. But this is a very, very great moment in American history. And all of you who are watching, thanks for watching this show. And we're just laughing to look at some of your comments here. I know that's exactly how I felt. It's a relief because I was anticipating problems. I knew in my heart of hearts Donald Trump was going to win this election last night. I was confident of that. But I thought we were going to have more of this nonsense going on for days and weeks, disputing this election. But he won so big, that's not necessary. And I think this is a victory not just for today, but for tomorrow. Yeah, these are great comments, folks. These are really, really, really great comments. Thank you for taking the time. Thank you for taking the time to share your thoughts with us here. And I feel like there's hope for free speech in Canada now. That's what I'm taking from this election. I feel like there's hope for free speech in Canada. So thank you. Good for America. Yes. I'm trying to find Kamala's speech from last night. No, she didn't have a speech last night. She is going to apparently speak sometime this morning. It should be a concession speech. It's Democratic strategists are saying, "Oh yeah, it'll be a concession speech." We'll see how nuanced it is, and we'll see what she tries to do with it. Yeah, Kamala McDonald's is hiring. Tracy Smith comments here. Yeah, that's wonderful. That is wonderful. So that's where we are. And we're going to continue. And tomorrow I'm going to be back again talking about C-293, which is a clear and present danger to Canada, to our sovereignty, to our food industry, despite claims to the contrary. And Pamela, and now let's go. Yeah, let's go, Canada. And we're going to keep going. We're going to continue to fight. Just as Donald Trump said when he stood up after the assassination attempt, he said, "Fight, fight, fight." We're going to continue to do that in Canada, and I'm going to continue to do that on this show. Happy days are here again. Robin Klein-Stuber. You bet they are. This is a tremendous victory. I can't say enough about it, and I'm just so pleased. Red Tsunami, yeah. This is a complete victory. Just a complete victory. Thank you so much for watching the show today, everybody. You are appreciated. We love you. God bless you. Continue to resolve to resist and take heart from this election result last night. And remember, we can do the same thing in Canada. John Boko, there is a God after all. You bet there is, John. You bet there is. And there is justice in the world. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back again tomorrow with more of the news that you need to know so we can all continue to resolve to resist. Bye for now.